What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Arrow Season 5, Episode 4, Penance. So, after last week's disappointment of an episode, I was really looking forward to seeing what they were going to do, which sounds weird. Normally, if I get disappointed by an episode, I'm like, God, I don't even want to watch next week's. But honestly, I was kind of interested to see, are they going to keep making the same mistakes? Are they going to just keep doing stuff wrong? Because it really is astounding to me that 5 seasons in, they're making mistakes like they did last week. Completely changing up the tone, completely, just making the main character look completely wrong when he's actually 100% right. So, I was like, what are they going to do? Start off the episode not so great. They're on a mission, and for some reason, even though apparently they've been training for a while, Wild Dog's still making the same mistakes. He tells Evelyn she's got the shot, but Renee just shoots at him, missing for some reason. Like, really? You're that bad of a shot? You can't even hit him? What? And then, Renee misses, or Evelyn misses her shot, and then Curtis steps in, he gets the crap beat out of him, and so Oliver has to step in and pretty much shuts the guy down and just one arrow to the leg, and then punches the crap out of him, and now the guy's caught. And so after all of this, I'm like, okay, so it shows the team is still not working well together. It's showing that they still are inexperienced and not ready for field work. So he comes in. Ragman is not anywhere to be seen. And actually, I think there's a conversation between Oliver and Ragman before he goes to talk to Felicity. And he's saying, I don't want to be on the team anymore, which by the end of it, he wants to be on the team again, thank goodness, because Ragman is the only interesting team member this year because of his cool powers and stuff. So I was really, I was worried for a second they were actually going to take off the one team member that's keeping me interested right now. But he goes in to talk to Felicity about that, and she's like, once again, just completely showing one thing and saying something completely different. He comes in, she's like, so, did I hear you correctly? Are you really giving them a victory lap around the SCPD? I'm like, victory lap? And then he's like, oh, you were right, the team's getting better, except for Renee. I'm like, what did I miss in that first scene that's causing this conversation to happen right now? Like, based on the first scene, the team is still not functioning correctly. Oliver can still do better on his own. So what's this about a victory lap? If anybody should be doing a victory lap, it should be Oliver for once again apprehending the bad guy despite the mistakes made by his team. And the fact that Oliver's just like, yeah, the team's getting better. Evelyn missed a shot with an arrow from about 10 feet. Curtis got the crap kicked out of him by some random guy. And you're telling me that they're getting better. Once again, I have to ask, are the writers and the directors not communicating? Because it feels like, for the past 2 seasons, we've had completely different writers. The words that have been spoken are not matching up with what I'm seeing. And then there's sometimes where it feels like they're completely different writers on one episode because one character's saying this thing and then they're saying something completely opposite. All of these mistakes being made, I don't get it. You're 5 seasons in, this should not be happening. There should not be the team completely screwed up tonight, but they're getting better. Yeah. What a victory. No, it should be, God, I don't know what I'm going to do about this team. I keep trying to tell them and they just don't understand. Nope, there's no growth, there's no understanding there. It's just... However, everything after that conversation is better. It's still not good, but Oliver, he and Lila have been talking about getting Diggle broken out of prison because Diggle apparently wants to pay for his sins there, killing his brother. He wants to pay for all of that in prison. So Lila asks for Oliver's help. Oliver's like, sure. Felicity says no. Oliver says, screw you, bitch, and goes to help anyway. And so the team, because they have to be a part of this too somehow, Church the man that he ended up wanting to get arrested, he has a device that gets taken to lock up. That device is used to blow up a wall so Church and his men can go get weapons to apparently go and attack the ACU and like take him out. So pretty interesting plan there, and the team ends up having to try to stop Church and his plans. What's great about the rest of this episode is, first of all, Oliver's on his way to go get Diggle. And I actually saw this in the previews for last week. And it was like, Curtis says, we're not going to let you go do it. And Oliver looks at him and says, did you just say you're not going to let me? And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, please tell me that the team doesn't actually like convince him to not go or something. No, pretty much exactly what I wanted to happen happened. He kicks the crap out of him in no time flat and goes ahead and goes on with his plan. I'm like, thank you. That's exactly what should happen. They try to step in his way. They try to be better than him, which has happened in the past couple episodes. It's felt like Oliver is not in charge. This is the first time where it feels like, yeah, Oliver's in charge. You guys want to stop him? You're not going to let Oliver? And then just beats them all up. I love it. That is exactly what Oliver is. And they even talk about this a little bit later when he's talking to Diggle. And Diggle's like, so you went completely against my direction. You went against my wishes to break me out. And Oliver's like, I guess I haven't changed that much either. I'm like, thank you. Because it felt like you had this season. It felt like you'd changed and gone a complete 180 and just become this wuss that didn't know how to take care of himself. But this kind of proves Oliver's still Oliver. So that's nice to see. And then on top of that, the team taking on Church, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, are we going to have that stereotypical cliche storyline where they go in and they save the day and that's it? Even though under Oliver, with a leader, they are completely unorganized. Without a leader, you're telling me they're going to go in and they're going to be organized and save the day. Not quite. They do have a bit of a plan in place. Ragman comes back, thank goodness, and he helps out a little bit. Busts open a wall for the team to come through and give the ACU another way out. But then, as they're allowing the ACU to leave, there comes a time where here comes a little knife. Curtis gets stabbed in the back, unfortunately, not fatal. And so now they're having to take him out, but Tobias Church is there, and he starts taunting him. And Wild Dog, still being the idiot that he is like, oh yeah, I'm going to take him on my own. And gets the crap beat out of him again. And of course, even with that, there's still that one dumb line where it shows Church about to torture him. And he's like, been a long time since this happened to me, and shows like this scar on his face. I'm like, wait, didn't Oliver give some of that to you the other time? Like, the only reason you nearly killed him was because he let you to get Ragman to help him. You're telling me you don't... Anyway. But yeah, Wild Dog gets captured by Tobias. Now the team is like, Oliver comes back and says, we're going to go help him. Diggle and Lila are now staying at Hive, the city that... I guess it's the office that Damien Dark was working out of, because I thought the city got destroyed. I may be wrong. I'm pretty sure it got destroyed, though. So I think they're staying at the offices of Hive, where Damien Dark had most of his operations. So they're broken out of jail. That's nice to see. He's back with his family and stuff. And it's good to see him back a part of the show again, because, we kind of had a lot of time where it was just like, I want to see Oliver and Diggle work together again, and they were not. So it's nice to see them working together again. Even the little lines that they have in this episode, like the few minutes they have together, it feels much better. It feels like the chemistry is still there. I want to see more of that. Hopefully we see them on screen more. But yeah, leading into next week's episode, it's actually kind of exciting, although the previews for next week kind of spoiled a lot, because it shows them getting Wild Dog back, him telling them he knows you're Oliver Queen, and then it shows the mass vigilante, whoever that attacked Tobias Church, talking to Church, and Church telling him, we don't need to go after the Green Arrow, we need to go after the mayor. And then we see Oliver like bullet holes bleeding on the steps. Really? I mean, are you serious? Think about this for a second. What's going to be the big shocker next week? Probably Wild Dog giving up the secret and Oliver getting shot. That's probably how the episode's going to end. I've already seen how the episode's going to end now. It's like this show, even when the episode is not on, the show is still making mistakes. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you show that much? All you had to do was show some scenes of Wild Dog being tortured and the team maybe fighting some bad guys. But no, you show us everything. You show us that they're going to get Wild Dog back. You show us that Wild Dog gives up Oliver's secret identity. You show Oliver getting shot. That's the entire episode next week. Unless they have something else, which I can't imagine that they're going to have that and then another thing on top of that. So, while it's not a complaint about this week's episode, it's still a complaint about the show as a whole. Like, there's so many weird decisions that don't make any sense, that don't fit with the show, that do stupid things, that make me facepalm. I can't describe how frustrated I get sometimes. But overall, as far as this episode goes, a little bit of frustration here and there, some dumb decisions, but I feel like it was a return to what I expect out of the show. I expect Oliver to go do whatever he wants to. I expect this team that's still not good enough to not completely succeed. They know kind of what they're doing, but overall they don't have a plan. They don't have a clue of what they're really supposed to do, so they still fail at some things. Curtis gets injured. Wild Dog gets captured. I expect that. So I think while it's not a great episode, I think it is a more realistic episode. It's not a lot of dumb decisions, not a lot of really why did they do that moments. So overall, it's better. I just hate the fact that they spoiled next week's episode for me. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? What do you want to see after next week's episode? Because we already know what's going to happen. So, leave a like and subscribe for future Arrow reviews, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.